very strange tefillah that we do every single day of Hanukkah. Ala Nisim. We're adding Ala Nisim Ala Purkan. What is Ala Nisim talking about? We have two miracles in Hanukkah. The miracle of the oil and the miracle of the war. But listen, all Ala Nisim that is talking about miracles, which miracle is mentioning only? The miracle of the war. When we get to the oil, it's like saying it on the on the way. Let me just tell you, there was oil and we had 8 days that we lighting. Come on, if you're talking about miracles, let's talk about it. Let's make a whole issue. What we're now mentioning so much in the prayers, the concept of the miracle of the oil. By the way, the Hallel that we say with Beracha is because of the war. That's the main reason. The main reason of the Hallel that we say is because of the war. What happened to the oil? What happened to the miracle of the oil? Rabbi, the answer goes like this. I think we spoke a little bit about it in the past. I'm just going to mention it very quick. Why do we pray? What's the whole purpose of praying? If God knows exactly what He needs. So you know what? Don't open your mouth. Say, God, give me whatever I need. And that's it. Go home. We're praying 3 times a day. First of all, the same Amidah all the time. Why the same? Let me talk whatever I want. Second of all, God doesn't know. God doesn't understand what's the best for you. Why you want to change the mind of God? How is that working? Is that with the whole concept of prayers? And we explained that the answer is that prayers are not for God. God doesn't need our prayers. We don't have to change His mind. Prayers is for us. What I mean for us? For us means to be able to understand and to refresh your mind that every single thing that happened in this world is by Hashem's hand. We mentioned that the tefillah, the same exact prayer. You know why? Because we want you to realize every single day your routine is also by God. The Refaenu, the Berachenu, every single bakasha that you say, every single thing that's going on around you comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's why every time that a person prays, it can change his personality. Avodah shebalev. Why? You're changing your mind, you're changing the way of looking at things. You know why in Ala Nisim we don't mention the miracle of the oil? There is no question that if you're going to ask any guy, tell me something. There is any doubt that the miracle of the oil, it's called a miracle? Everyone's going to tell you, of course, it's a miracle. Small thing that God can light 8 days? Not normal. There's no question about it that it was a miracle. But guess what? About a war, always you can find those guys that are going to say, listen, we made it. You remember after the war of Sheshet HaYamim, 6 days in Israel, I had a friend, his father was at the time of the war, and he told me, he said, at the moment of the war, everybody started to do teshuvah. It was crazy. In the kibbutzim, they were doing tehillim. Amazing. The war just finished. We saw miracles in our eyes. And what was the title that all the people went out to the street? Yeah? Tzahal. They had the army. They have the power. We're so strong. We're so this. This is called Kochi ve'otzim yadi. My power made it the whole war. But you saw miracles? Yeah. But also things like that, we can say, you know what? It's the power of the army. But the army back then was nothing. But just to read about it. How many planes Israel had? How many weapons they had? Against how many? We had no chance. And we saw the hand of Borei Olam. But guess what? We can always say, no, he's our army. Say HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Chachamim were establishing Ala Nisim to let us understand. Maccabim, it's not Rambo. Maccabim, it's not Schwarzenegger. No. Maccabim, it's regular guys. Kohen Gadol that haven't done nothing besides doing Shechidat U'Korban. That's Maccabim. And Rabotai, the answer is that I want you to understand and to repeat that Ala Nisim Ala Pulkan. You know what's the miracles? The war. Remember that outside all what you see is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Why I'm saying it? I don't know if you're aware about what's going on now in Eretz Israel. Last night, Israel decided to go to a special mivtza. Here's a mivtza. Special mivtza. Here's a mivtza. Okay. What? We decided in all, you can look at the news, in all the north side of Israel, to check out all the tunnels that maybe Hezbollah made up. They just found one tunnel, 40 kilometers inside Israel. Wow. And they said that the way how they made the tunnels, it's not the same way that they used to in Hamas. Okay, it's much sophisticated, with all type of stones that it's much harder to break. That's one tunnel. If Hamas had already 15, 20, Hezbollah had enough time to make much more. And they decided in Eretz Israel now to start looking for all the tunnels that there is in the north side. Rabotai, with all what we can have and everything, every single thing that they find, it's a miracle. Oh, but our army is so intelligent that they have all the... Yeah, everything, whatever you want. But tell me something. Hamas, how powerful they are? Nothing. Nothing. If you're going to try to put Hamas against the army of Israel, they're nothing. And they can still make the whole country of Israel, the whole land of Israel, shake. We didn't saw enough miracles last time? We saw Ala Nisim Ala Pulkan. That's the whole point. Remember that also when you have a great army, it's not the army, it's Borei Olam. Let me tell you one point that it's amazing. All of the miracles of Hanukkah, all of them, they're being concluded in one sentence. The miracle came after Am Yisrael were ready to give the maximum. We explained yesterday how many Maccabim we have. How many guys there were? You remember?
5.
Huh? No, I didn't say 5. I say 13. Rashi, Vezot HaBeracha, when Moshe Rabbeinu is giving berachot to each one of the tribes, he says to Levi, how was the pasuk? Forget the words of the pasuk, and Rashi over there writes, how many soldiers they will have at the time of the Maccabim? 13. 13 guys against an empire. There is any logic over here? No logic. So how come they were ready to throw themselves? They suicided themselves. The answer is, when you do it the right thing and you give your maximum, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing his maximum as well. Nesbah Hashem, and we explained yesterday, there was no point to look for a kosher oil. No need. But when you do your maximum, HaKadosh Baruch Hu does his maximum as well. And this a little bit can light 8 days. Rabotai, that's the message for our life as well. You want miracles? Do your maximum. You do your maximum, you will get it. Let me tell you, fantastic. A guy told me there was in Eretz Israel there is a city. It's called Arad. Arad, there is a whole bunch of Hasidim of Gur. One of the Hasidim lines, Gur. Their rabbi lives in Jerusalem. The Admor of Gur, big Chacham, lives in Israel. And every Hasid wants to say Selichot by his rabbi. Correct? Mm-hmm. So every single year they were organizing a bus. And they were taking the bus from Arad, all the Hasidim going in to Jerusalem to do Selichot with the rabbi. But the Ashkenazim to do Selichot only Motzei Shabbat before, right? Before Rosh Hashanah. They organize themselves. The first Selichot is supposed to be Motzei Shabbat. The Gabbai looks at the list of all the people, and he realizes there is one guy, Moshe, that he didn't wrote himself. He approached Moshe, Moshe, what happened? You're not coming to the Rabbi? So of course I'm coming. So why you didn't say yourself? Say, you didn't hear? I just bought a brand new car. 2018. 2018, brand new car. I want to go with my car to the Rabbi. You sure? Yeah. Fine. Motzei Shabbat arrived. Our dear friend Moshe is taking his car and he starts to go. In the middle of the road, all of a sudden I realize that there is a bus in the sidewalk, and he sees a lot of black hats people, Hasidim, Streimel, Peot, all this stuff. He looks a little bit more. All his friends. He stops to the side. What happened, guys? Don't ask. The bus got stuck in the middle. Fine. Did you call the company? They say, yeah. Until 72 hours, they will send one bus. So, yeah, Habibi, in 72 hours we're going to miss the Selihot. Listen, Moshe, help us, please. Take me. Every guy, wanted to enter to the car of Moshe. And Moshe looks at the guys and he says, listen, I don't want to get in troubles. I'm going to close my eyes. Whoever enters. The guy closes his eyes. He hears all the noise. Until the end, he tried to close the door, but the door got closed. Moshe opens the eyes. He was about to faint. I don't know how many guys. He said, I don't want to look. He took the car, and he was doing a tefillah that Borei Olam, please help me out. No police in the way. Yeah, I don't know how many guys. It was a car of seven seats. The guy had it. The mazal was, there was a policeman. Police officer looks at the guy. He sees already something strange. Put him to the side. And he says, everybody out. And he starts to count. 1, 2. The guy goes, oh, don't count. Oshia et amecha. Okay, Oshia et amecha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 15 guys inside the car. Wow. I can tell you that was Gan Eden for the police officer. He already prepared the whole thing. He took already the license, give him a temporary license. He told me you have a judgment in Be'er Sheva. I'm going to be there and I'm going to witness accounts. You're crazy, you're nuts. Sakanat nefashot. What can I tell you? Obviously the officer didn't allow him to take anyone, and he went by himself to the Selichot. What a Selichot he did. He finished the Selichot and he asked to enter to the Rabbi, the Admor of Gur. He came to the Rabbi and he told him the story. The Rabbi starts to yell at him. You crazy? Sakanat nefashot. You put people in danger? Rabbi, I know, I don't know what happened to me and I regret it. Please, Rabbi, give me a beracha. Rabbi thinks a little bit and he says, don't worry, Be'ezat Hashem, everything is going to be okay. Okay? The guy gets to the judgment. Gets to Be'er Sheva and he sees the judge, the police officer is about to eat him. The police officer came already prepared, Habibi. There was no one law in the, in the, whatever law they have, there was not one law that wasn't mentioned in the judgment. And the guy did everything. He says that he's hearing the judge very serious, and he thinks on himself, yeah, Habibi, the rabbi said that everything is going to be okay. He starts to pray, help me. All of a sudden he got an idea. He says to the judge, Your Honor. I just have one question. I heard the whole thing of the police officer. Listen, I came with the car today to the judgment. I have it right over here downstairs. If you tell me how it's possible to put 15 guys inside the car, you give me all what you said. But if it's not possible, so all what the guy is saying, he's inventing. The judge liked the idea. He says, guys, we're going down. They went down. They decided to take guys from the street. Okay? Enter to the car. The guys were rushing. He said, that's an order. The guys came. Yalla, enter. 7 guys they got. The 8th, squeeze a little bit. 9, Habibi, they were choking. No air. And they cannot even close the door. And they tried. And when they tried the 10th, what can I tell you? No way. No way. Okay, the story, to make the long story short, the whole thing went off. Yeah, the judge went up. And the guy said, listen, I went to see the car. Yeah. and there is no possibility to have 15 guys, forget about it. This guy is clean and he's going and they give him back his license and he leaves the place. Baruch Hashem. He goes out and the police officer goes after him. And the guy looks at him outside the judgment and tells him, listen, Moshe, I was there, I saw the 15 guys. How is it possible? I mean, so listen, one thing I want to tell you, number one, you saw 15, I had 3 in the trunk that he didn't sell. But doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. How it's possible? He says there is one difference. The guys that you took from the street, they didn't want it to be there. Once you don't want to be there, there is no room for anything. You cannot do whatever you want. But my guys, they really wanted to get to the Synagogue of the Rabbi. Doesn't matter how many seats there is. You can put even double. That's the miracle of Hanukkah, Rabbi. When a person wants, when a guy wants to get to something, he will get it. When a guy is being, I'm not sure, and you're putting yourself and you're going a few steps back, there is no Yeshua, there is no salvation. Why we had so many miracles? To tell us that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is helping whenever a person wants to help. Say the Maharshan with this I finish. It's written in the Gemara. The Gemara writes, בדרך שאדם רוצה ללך, מוליכין אותו. The way that a person wants to go, they help him out to reach there. Say the Maharsha, I don't understand the language. בדרך שאדם רוצה ללך, מוליכים אותו. Who is מוליכים אותו? Who is helping him to go? Usually who is? God. But מוליכים is plural. We say Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. So what's the meaning of the sentence? Writes the Maharsha, Rabotai, one of the Rishonim. Say the Maharsha. The reason is because every single moment that a person wants to reach something and he really wants to, automatically creates angels. And Borei Olam gave power to those angels. It doesn't matter what's going to be, they will help him out to reach the goal that he put in his mind. Person wants to grow spiritually, if you really want to, you're going to get it. Person wants to see the hand of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if you really want to, you will get it. And that's Hanukkah. Hanu B'Kafei, but at the same moment, not only they established themselves in the Kafei, the 25th of Kislev, but also Hanukkah from the Lashon of how you say that? Right. When you have a new place, yeah, and you wanna Chanukah Bayit. What's Chanukah Bayit? How you say Chanukah? Chanukah Bayit is right. It's the same thing. You want to renew yourself. The only way to renew yourself is by having this emunah on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen. Amen.